Welcome to the Skeptic Zone, the podcast from Australia for science and reason.
Hello and welcome to the Skeptic Zone for the 19th of October 2014. Richard Saunders here with you from Maynard's Sydney lair, Maynard.
That's right, we're here from the random castle of Maynardness on the sofa of solitude. It's a bright green and it's a 1979 lime green couch. In fact, this couch once had its own nightclub. You know how sometimes there's a couch in a nightclub? Well, this couch had its own nightclub.
I don't doubt it for a moment. But I'm looking up on the wall behind you there in Maynard, and there's that famous Star Trek picture of you.
That's right, me and Donna Gabay, and me playing the part of Captain Kirk, she playing the part of Ensign something or another.
What are you doing, giving an order or something?
I'm giving her an order for steak and chips, I think. And she just happened to have a slip dress. It was very much the same as what the ensigns on Star Trek used to.
You're kidding? That's not a uniform.
That's her actual dress. All we did was stick a Star Trek symbol on it, and it looks exactly like the show, doesn't it?
That's hilarious.
It's really good. It's a great shot. I'm doing my best. I'm channeling my best Kirk there.
You are. You are. I think that picture's even ended up on your Facebook.
Yeah, it certainly has, or on the Maynard page. And man, we are having such a time. You've been kicking the goals here with this show lately. People have been coming up to me on the street, knocking me to the ground and saying, Maynard, the show, the Skeptic Zone, is going nuts.
It is.
It is.
It's been going nuts for years, but it's even more nuts at the moment. Now, you're in Sydney to do some more Bunga Bunga.
That's right. We've got Tim Ferguson with Bunga Bunga 8 is coming out next week. I'm recording that with him. That has been going really well. We've been picking up, and we've got like 500 people on our Facebook page already, which I know is not a lot of people in the big scheme of things, but for a show that's only been going for a couple of episodes, we're doing quite well. And what we're finding is when Tim travels around with the Doug Anthony All-Stars, the group that he's still with, he brings back great stories from our great land.
Well, the Doug Anthony All-Stars are doing great work at the moment. Bunga Bunga is a really good podcast. You and Tim Ferguson comes about, once a week? Or?
Yeah, look, it comes out whenever Tim and I are in the same town. And basically this week I've got something from the archives. I like to dip into the archives. And you've seen them. You've been to my other abode where the archives are. And I randomly put my hand in and found an interview with Gene Simmons from 1990.
The Gene Simmons.
From KISS. And that's up on the Maynard's Malays podcast feed, which you can get through iTunes. Just put Maynard's Malays into iTunes, Downcast, or Stitcher, and have a listen to it. And how many platforms is the Skeptic Zone on?
Too many.
I think you can even get the Skeptic Zone on MasterCard. I think
probably can.
If you hold the card really close to your ear, you'll hear this show.
But people can find out about all your exploits at maynard.com.au.
They can indeed. And if you're hearing a loud rumbling in the background, that is my 1987 Yugoslavian fridge. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the factory that fridge was made in was bombed at some stage by the Americans.
Might have been.
I personally don't think the fridge was that bad, but if the Americans had to do it, they had to do it, I guess. That's war for you. War is hell on fridges.
It is on fridges. It's particularly bad. But let's think about this week's show, Maynard, before we run to your fridge.
That's right.
See what's inside. On this week's show, in fact, we've got a sort of a double-barreled Maynard spooky action.
Now you keep talking because I'm going to see, because I reckon I can make the fridge a bit quieter.
He's gone to the fridge.
Pushing on the handle. Listen to this, folks.
Wow. Yugoslavian technology.
You know, you've heard of people with all sorts of proclivities. My fridge has, shall we say, euphemistically, it's got a loose handle.
So it's a sort of a double-barreled Maynard. You catch up with Dr. Brad McKay from Embarrassing Bodies Down Under at Skeptics in the Pub the other week. Lots of embarrassing bodies there.
Look, and I asked him a couple of embarrassing questions. Did you keep the first one I asked him in the edit?
Had to go.
It's a pity.
It was too embarrassing.
Well, if you bump into me personally, I will tell you what that first question was and what the first answer was. And let me tell you, blue. Working blue.
Well, yeah, sometimes we do. But then it's Maynard back at the Paranormal Convention, the Paranormal and Spiritual Expo. Now, we played some interviews last week to give people a taste of what believers think. A bit more of that coming your way this week.
That's right. And look, I had a great time talking to everyone there at the Kashula Powerhouse, and thank everyone for having a good chat with me. And one of the questions that, I don't know if it made the edit or not, which I found was interesting, is that people look for the paranormal in the infrared range, just outside of human vision. And I asked them, why didn't they look in the ultraviolet range? Now, I know lots of human sort of deposits can be seen ultravioletly, but I'm just wondering if there was any ghost action in the ultraviolet, and no one gave me a good answer as to why they don't look in the ultraviolet. So if anyone knows, let me know. But I'm just going to... You just tell people what's coming up. I'm going to try and keep this fridge a bit quiet.
He's gone back to the fridge, folks. Go on. Off he goes to the Maynard kitchen to... Oh, he's attacking the fridge as I speak. Poor fridge. Actually, it seemed to have worked.
Yeah. Loose handle.
Well done, Maynard. So that's all coming up a bit later on in the show with Maynard's spooky action. We also have a report, Jo Alabaster commenting on, or reading a report about homeopathic jet lag tablets, which have got the big heave-ho in New Zealand.
And didn't you just this very second at a very local chemist that shall remain nameless see something homeopathic, and you couldn't help yourself. You had to be the big noted skeptic. What did you say? What was it for? Come on.
We were at the chemist getting something, and I looked.
I was actually getting real drugs.
You were.
Sure was.
Drugs that work. And then on the counter there, I was just idly looking, and there they were, homeopathic remedy for restless leg syndrome.
And I thought it was like a herbal thing that might have actually had something in it, but you had to point out rather loudly that there's nothing in this. There's nothing in it. You said in your best Crocodile Dundee. That's not a remedy. That's what you said.
I didn't say.
You did. I might never be able to buy my morphine there again.
Sorry about that, Maynard, but I had to embarrass them somehow for selling that rubbish in their pharmacy. And if you're in Glebe and you visit a pharmacy, have a look on the counter. You might see it yourself.
Yep, because I thought it was herbal, so I was willing to give it a pass. But oh no, Mr. Skeptic had to do the dund. That's hey, you said.
I did. Well, sort of. Something like that. Big news about the upcoming convention, the Australian Skeptics National Convention. There's a huge night of fun and entertainment being arranged. More news on that.
Well, that's here at my place, isn't it?
After that,
that's the unofficial one, folks.
Oh no, this is where we're coming back to after that.
Yes, that's right.
1,000 people in this little room.
Yo, wait.
Looking forward to that. So big news about the Australian Skeptics National Convention just this week. Big news to be released. Now, before we get stuck into this week's show, Maynard, I think if people want to find the hidden Easter egg, Easter eggs are hidden. That's the whole idea. There was an Easter egg on last week's show. Did you discover it, Maynard?
Hang on. Was it something at the end of the episode?
Yes.
I did hear something strange, but I just assumed I was tripping again. Well, so there was episode. Wow, there you go.
There was an Easter egg on the end of last week's episode for those people who missed it.
I went and had a good lie down thinking there was a problem, but there you go.
And who knows when there may be some more in the future.
And what was that?
I can't tell. See, I can't tell you. People have to listen to last week's show and discover it for themselves.
Ooh.
And why they're doing that and why you're listening to this week's show, those people who aren't listening to last week's show, why don't you and I go back into your kitchen now, open up your Yugoslavian fridge, and what might we discover?
I don't know. We might discover some music from Chariots of the Gods. See, I always get Eric Von Daniken into the show somehow.
Oh, no, it is too. All right, well,
I scared Richard. So you mentioned Eric Von Daniken.
You did. I don't want to go to the fridge anymore.
Or EVD, as it's known. And he gets a bit scary.
Why we're doing that. Oh, heavens. I hope you enjoyed the Skeptic Zone.
No, look, I was so glad to know I wasn't tripping last week.
What we want is some more evidence, please. Here's Jo Alabaster.
Hello, this is Jo Alabaster. As reported on sciencebasedpharmacy.wordpress.com by author Scott, kudos to the New Zealand-based Society for Science-Based Healthcare for taking a pharmacy sale of a homeopathic remedy to the Advertising Standards Authority. Quote, "The Advertising Standards Authority, ASA, has upheld a complaint regarding the advertising of the homeopathic product No Jet Lag in an Auckland pharmacy. The complaint, which was lodged with the ASA by the Society for Science-Based Healthcare in July, alleged that the advertisement's claims about the product, that it really works for homeopathic jet lag prevention, were unsubstantiated and misleading. In defence of their advertising, the manufacturer of the product, Myers Laboratories, submitted a study that they'd carried out regarding the product. However, the Advertising Standards Complaints Board said that the trial population in the pilot study was small, the methodology was not robust, and the results had not been published or peer-reviewed. The Complaints Board also noted that the study was an in-house trial conducted by the advertiser rather than independent research. Given the weaknesses in the study, the majority of the Complaints Board said the advertiser had not satisfactorily substantiated the claim that the product really works, and, as such, the Complaints Board said the advertisement had the potential to mislead consumers. Consequently, the Complaints Board said that the advertisement did not observe a high standard of social responsibility required of advertisements of this type. As a result, the Complaints Board ruled to uphold the complaint." End quote. No jet lag is sold across New Zealand and around the world. Not surprisingly, given its homeopathy, there's no credible evidence that it works. While the choice of pharmacy to name in the complaint was arbitrary, the pharmacy has agreed to remove the product from sale. I've discussed at length in a previous post how the sale of homeopathy in pharmacies is fundamentally unethical. The Pharmacy Council of New Zealand includes the following principles in its Code of Ethics. Quote, "As a pharmacist you must act in a manner that promotes public trust and confidence in pharmacists and enhances the reputation of the profession. Section 6G. Only purchase, supply or promote any medicine, complementary therapy, herbal remedy or other healthcare product where there is no reason to doubt its quality or safety and when there is credible evidence of efficacy. Section 6.10. Ensure you do not purchase or sell from a pharmacy any product or service which may be detrimental to the good standing of the profession or bring the profession into disrepute." End quote. Selling homeopathy, which is sugar pills without medicinal ingredients, is fundamentally at odds with the professional obligations of pharmacists. Homeopathy has no place on a pharmacy's shelves. It's unfortunate that it's taking complaints and even class action lawsuits to get action when regulators and the pharmacy profession itself refuses to even acknowledge the facts about this elaborate placebo system. As a pharmacist, I say thank you to the Society for Science-Based Healthcare. Keep the heat on the pharmacy profession.
As mentioned at the top of the show, more exciting news about the Australian Skeptics National Convention, the 28th to the 30th of November this year. And to quote the website, www.skeptics.com.au, latest convention announcements, SGU Extravaganza, welcome social event and dinner entertainment. We're pleased to announce 3 new exciting events for the 2014 National Convention. George Rubb and the SGU crew will be putting on a special show at 7 p.m. on Friday the 28th of November, the day before the convention proper gets underway. This will take place at the Chatswood Club. All tickets cost $25. Geo will host the SGU Skeptical Extravaganza and Quiz Show, an evening of surprising fun, music, a quiz show, audience interaction, and much more. This is a must-see event. Note that this is a separate event from the main convention, with all profits going to SGU. Bookings are essential and will be suitable for all ages. Welcome event! On the same night and location, beginning at 6 p.m, we will be holding a free welcome social event where you'll be able to mingle with speakers and other attendees. Here you will get the chance to talk to your heroes and skeptical colleagues in a relaxed atmosphere of good cheer and conversation. Geo and the SGU crew will be present at this event before and after their extravaganza. All ages are allowed in the bistro area, but you must be over 18 to be near the bar or gaming machines. Dinner entertainment. We've organised some exciting entertainment to accompany the convention dinner on Saturday, November the 29th. While the dinner itself will be a great event featuring a 3-course meal and drinks, the entertainment on offer will round out a great evening. Nicholas J. Johnson, the honest con man, is an award-winning author, magician, comedian, and con man. He knows his scams, and after decades of rubbing shoulders with fraudsters and liars, he will show the dinner audience how to become a human lie detector and why they shouldn't trust him at the ATM, and the best way to cheat at the casino. Later in the evening, the SGU will hold their traditional auction. Oh, I love doing those auctions, folks. They're such great fun. Of goodies from the Rogue's Treasure Trove. Bookings are essential. The best advice is to head for www.skeptics.com.au. You can find out all about the convention, book your tickets, and we'll see you there.
Welcome to A Week in Science from RiAus, bringing you the science you need to know. We spend around 1/3 of our lives asleep, but most people don't give it much thought. So why do we need our sleep, and just what happens while we're in the world of nod? Time to wake up and find out. Sleep is essential for resting the mind and body, and is controlled by our internal body clock. Located in our hypothalamus, our body clock is established during the first months of life and controls the timing of our nightly sleeps through the release of the hormone melatonin. While everyone's clock runs on roughly a 24-hour cycle, melatonin release can peak anywhere between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. depending on the individual. And it's this variation which explains why some people are naturally night owls and others are early risers. Once asleep, our brain cycles through different levels of consciousness. This sleep pattern is uniform in most people and involves a series of transitions between deep sleep and REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. REM sleep is the part of the sleep cycle during which we dream and is thought to be important for both memory storage and recharging your brain. Most people have 4 or 5 dreams a night, even though we usually don't remember them. And finally, the optimum sleep time is 7 to 9 hours a night for adults. Research has shown that under or oversleeping will not only increase your risk of a chronic health condition, but will also significantly reduce your life expectancy. And now, 4 fast facts about sleep. During REM sleep, our bodies are paralysed to stop us moving about. People who don't get enough sleep are more likely to overeat due to lower levels of the appetite-regulating hormone leptin. The record for the longest period without sleep is 18 days, 21 hours, 40 minutes. The winner reported hallucinations, paranoia, and blurred vision. And finally, yes, it is possible to sleep with your eyes open. That's it for this week in science. For more information on sleep, go to the RiAus website, riaus.org.au. Follow us on Twitter at RiAus and like us on Facebook. I'm Steve Kern, and we'll catch you next week.
Hey, this is Jay Novella from the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe podcast. Did you know that there are thousands of skeptical reports, interviews, and investigations going back to 1981, free to download? Just visit www.skeptics.com.au. Click the publications link and enjoy almost every back issue of The Skeptic, the journal from Australian skeptics. You can also subscribe online and get the latest digital or hard copy of this, the world's second oldest skeptical magazine. That's www.skeptics.com.au or just Google Australian Skeptics.
Now here's an update from our good friend Daniel Loxton in Canada. You might remember we had an interview with Daniel Loxton on the Skeptic Zone episode number 282 way back on the 16th of March this year when we chatted to Daniel about his new book Pterosaur Trouble. Well, Daniel's written many other books, of course, about prehistoric adventures, and I'm delighted to say that one of his books, Pterosaur Trouble, has won an award. Daniel has won one of the awards in the Victorian Book Prizes in Canada. Fantastic. Well done, Daniel Loxton. And the press release says Daniel Loxton's Pterosaur Trouble is book 2 in the Tales of Prehistoric Life series. It follows a pterosaur, a majestic flying reptile, as he encounters a pack of tiny but vicious dinosaurs. A unique blend of digital illustrations and landscape photography brings the ensuing battle to life. Congratulations, Daniel Loxton, who is the editor of Junior Skeptic magazine. And if you're interested in buying Pterosaur Trouble, a wonderful book, why not visit the Skeptic Zone website, www.skepticzone.tv, and look for the show notes for this episode, or just Google Daniel Loxton, Pterosaur Trouble. His latest book, Plesiosaur Peril, I happen to know, well, a copy of that ended up being a birthday present for a certain Jo Alabaster.
Hey, Kenny.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Nice day at this park, yeah?
Yes, great weather.
Oh, look, a unicorn.
Unicorn? There are no such things as unicorns, silly.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Hey, guys, what are you arguing about?
Tom thinks unicorns are real.
They so are.
Let's look this up in the Skeptics Dictionary.
The what?
How can we do this in this park? There is no computer here.
You guys probably don't know about the Skeptics Dictionary app. Available now for iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch in the App Store.
Wow, cool.
The app lets you access all of the great Skeptics Dictionary articles when you're on the go. Here, let me look up unicorns.
Oh, cool. Kenny, prepare to be proven wrong.
It says here, the unicorn is a creature from fables.
Aha!
Actually, I see now that someone just dumped their ice cream cone on that horse's head. Thanks, Skeptics Dictionary iPhone app.
And now it's time for your Horrible Scope by our astrologer, Dr. Duarf Ekaf. Aries, 19th of April to the 14th of May. Too much negative energy will drain you this week. Be sure to balance yourself with positive energy stored in a rechargeable Reiki battery. Once your Reiki battery is flat, you can charge it up again by waving your hands near it and closing your eyes. Yes, folks, Reiki batteries will save you a fortune in Reiki practitioner fees and works just as well. You need never go to your Reiki master again. Taurus, 15th of May to the 21st of June. Watch what you eat this month and eat what you watch, especially if you're looking at a chicken. I wonder if chickens care about astrology. Why did the chicken cross the road? Not even the stars know that one. Remember, you are what you eat. Gemini, 22nd of June to the 20th of July. It is wisely written that you can fool some of the people some of the time. Yes, I have that on a frame of the wall of my boathouse, just down the hill from my New Age energy healing and spiritual awareness retreat. Glass of champagne, anyone? Cancer, 21st of July to the 10th of August. Did you know that stars have star signs too? And that our star, the Sun, is one of the stars in at least 374 other star signs as viewed from other planets. Yes, it gets very complicated and means we all live in many different signs. No wonder people are so confused. Leo, 11th of August to the 16th of September. Always consult the stars before dyeing your hair. For you, the heavens recommend you colour your hair jet black with a sprinkling of some little sparkly bits. You should also match this with a jet black shirt with a sprinkle of little sparkly bits. And shoes as well. I think the stars seem to lack a little imagination. Virgo, 17th of September to the 31st of August. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You'll still be in a mess, but at least you won't be thirsty, unless the lemons are off. It sort of makes sense, really. I mean, if you're having a bad time, why would life give you good lemonades? Sorry, looks like you're really out of luck. Libra, 1st of November to the 23rd of November. This month it'll come as a relief to you to discover that jellyfish are not made out of jelly, fish fingers are not made out of fish's fingers, rock lobsters are not made from rocks, and jackrabbits are not called Jack, unless some are. Scorpio, 24th of November to the 30th of November. Did you know that you were born under the wrong star sign? It's very rare, but it does happen. I'm pleased to say I can help you. For the special low price of $1,128.65, I can arrange with the universe to change your sign to Leo. Or you can even make up your own for an extra $29.99. Ophiuchus, 1st of December to the 18th of December. Most people you meet were born under the sign of a hospital. It's a good sign to be born under, or even near. If you were born on the cusp, now there's a word you don't hear much anymore. If you were born on the cusp, just be glad you didn't fall off, and remember to thank your mother for her good balance. Sagittarius, 19th of December to the 19th of January. It's time for you to put your life in order, and the best order I know for life is birth, life, death. You'll be pleased to know that this is your first life and you weren't reincarnated. The bad news is neither was anybody else. Capricorn, 20th of January to the 16th of February. I sense you like to cook up a storm in the kitchen, which is a pity as most people would prefer to eat food. But let's face it, there are those who share your star sign who shouldn't go anywhere near a kitchen, or a storm for that matter. Aquarius, 17th of February to the 11th of March. This is a good month to try your luck with bad luck, and it's really easy to do. Just buy a ticket in the lotto and you're almost certainly not going to win. Once again, the stars come through with their amazing insights. If, however, you are very unlucky with bad luck and luck out, please come and visit me at my New Age Energy Healing and Spiritual Awareness Retreat, and I'm sure I can bring your bad luck back. Pisces, 12th of March to the 18th of April. If you feel the urge to look into your family tree, don't be surprised if you find some woodworms. Keep one eye on the present, one eye on the future, and one eye on the other two eyes. Yes, okay, yes, I think the stars are trying to be funny. But is the joke on me or you? Your lucky numbers are 007, 86, and 99.
Podcast Science is an award-winning weekly science show in French hosted by a bunch of crazy enthusiasts. We are convinced that the greatest ideas in science are quite easy to grasp as long as they're presented with passion, using a vocabulary common to all curious minds, whatever their academic background, if any. You don't understand French yet? Oh, it's never too late. All our stories have a written transcript on the website, and people from all around the world are using our content to learn Molière's language. Our topics
Here's Maynard's spooky action at a distance.
Well, we're here at the back of Skeptics in the Pub, and it's amazing who you bump into. Who we got here up the back?
Hi, my name's Dr. Brad McKay from Embarrassing Bodies Down Under.
And look, I believe the motto of your show is "We like to pry."
I think there's no shame, we're all the same, which is very similar, yeah.
Now, what did you make of our M-Drive talk? We were talking about space drive and possible space drives.
It's not my area of expertise. I'm much better with human anatomy, but with M-Drives I'm learning a little bit more, and my eyes sort of glaze over with a few of the equations that are up on the screen.
Okay, I can certainly understand that, but, you obviously had to do a degree to get to where you are, and some of the rules of pharmacology would be just as confusing as those physics.
Very true, very true. There's a theory of relativity I think we were discussing there at some stage, but a little bit of a different focus. But I do want the world to be more like the Minority Report, where all the cars are sort of floating on the highway.
I just want to be able to wave your hand in front of the devices and move the page over too, don't you?
Exactly. I think we've already got that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're sorry. We are living in the future. I tend to forget that. And the other thing is, what's your specialty? What's your medical specialty? Do you have one?
I've moved up from Melbourne to Sydney just recently, so I'm starting work at a clinic in Darlinghurst doing sexual health, and I'm doing further study in HIV medicine as well.
Now, in that area, there can be a lot of woo. You get patients coming in that will believe a certain thing or a certain action or a certain behaviour will somehow protect them when that is not the case at all. So how do you deal with woo in your workplace like that?
With HIV medicine?
Yes, and sexual health medicine, because some people will believe that some things will protect them when sometimes they won't.
Well, I try to have very educated patients that don't believe in woo.
You'd like them to leave the office with information even if it's against what they think.
Exactly. So no, I don't have too many patients that believe that if they drink a glass of lemon juice, then they won't get HIV from their next sexual encounter.
Well, what about people who think that perhaps there's some homeopathic work they can take that will help them or boost their immune system or something like that? Or do you think that that's a simple thing that will not really harmful?
I've had a few patients this week talking about their back pain or neck pain and seeing a chiropractor or having acupuncture. So I've spent a lot of time talking about that and saying, well, acupuncture is probably going to be making your endorphins go up. And how long did that work for when you had acupuncture? Oh, about 24, 48 hours, and then you're back in pain again? Yeah, that's probably because you had a natural morphine that your body was creating. So, and then with chiropractic treatment, yeah, again, you're having your neck cracked, and then after a couple of days, you're back to the same situation. So I spent a lot of my time sort of focusing people on getting treatment with physiotherapists and trying to look at their muscles and try to do more of a rehabilitation and exercise program rather than relying on the quick fix.
Look, I've got to say I have a tremendous amount of respect for professionals like yourself and GPs that don't get as much credit, along with nurses, as they should for providing everyday care and showing people where they can get information. I mean, it seems to me there's a hierarchy, like, neurosurgeons seem to be up the top, and then they've got cardiac surgeons under that, and dermatologists apparently about it down the bottom for some unknown reason, which they can still save your life. And so doing what you do goes a bit unsung in the general community with GPs and preventative health experts.
I think a lot of people that are specialists have a bit more of a halo around their heads sometimes. There's a bit of a change over time since I've been in medicine to respect general practitioners a little bit more. So I think being a specialist in family medicine is sort of a little bit more acknowledged over time. So it's not just being a GP, but it's knowing a little bit about everything and not a lot about one thing.
The thing that would just do my head in is you're in the one office and you get people in there and they're in there for 15 minutes, half an hour at the longest sometimes, and everyone's totally different. They have lots of different things. Obviously working in sexual medicine, you're going to get a similarity in patients, but a GP doesn't get that. He can go from psychological to everything.
Well, that's what I love about general practice, and I still do everything under the sun. So even working at a sexual health focus practice, it's still everything. So I'll have from warts on people's feet to styes in their eyes, and then depression and anxiety as well. Mental health's a big focus topic of mine too. I love talking about depression and anxiety, and I love helping people with that.
I'll finish with a controversial question. What's your, and it can be personal opinion, it doesn't have to represent anything that you do in the media, about the PrEP solution, so that people could take this medication, which is very expensive, and it will prevent them getting HIV transmission. What is was your stance on that? It's okay if you haven't got one.
No, I've got an opinion on that. I think everyone's got an opinion on that. PEP versus PrEP is a big thing. So PEP, post-exposure prophylaxis, we've had for a while. So we certainly know that works, and it's certainly recommended. So if you're having unprotected sex with somebody, condom breaks, whatever's going on, that's proven to work. The PrEP solution, they've been doing a lot of studies. The studies that have come out have shown sort of like a 90 to 100%, like with some of the studies, saying that there's protection against HIV if people are taking the drugs properly. So there's still a lot of debate about the expense of it, and I think they're trying to bring down the medication price, and I think if they do that, it'll be a little bit more well received in the Australian government. At the moment as well, it's sort of, well, who takes it? It's been recommended mainly for gay men to take it because they've got 16 times more likely to have HIV compared to the rest of the population. And yeah, if you've got a young, active gay man who's having unprotected sex and they're going to do that, whether they're on medication or not, it's better for them to be on it.
Yeah. Do you think there's any argument in the fact that people can now abdicate their responsibilities to a certain extent?
Well, they're talking about it being like the birth control pill for gay men, and I don't think it has that effect. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. I don't think it's going to be that great. You can still get gonorrhea, you can still get chlamydia, you can still get syphilis from having unprotected sex, so it's not a guarantee of not getting any sexual infection. It's just one that they're focusing on. But then it also comes down to who gets it. So is it just gay men, or is it like the women who are married to bisexual men who go and have anonymous sex? Like who gets covered? Who does the government pay for in that regard?
Okay. Yeah, look, there's going to be a lot more talking on this issue, and I think it's very interesting, particularly when people think about allocation of a scarce health budget, what you do with it. It's a very hot-button issue, isn't it?
Definitely, and it's a mixture of all sorts of different things. So we're putting the science there, we're putting the finance there, we're putting the government protocols there, and then also the stigma with HIV as well. So it's an amazing, fascinating area, and we'll hear a lot more about it in the next 6 to 12 months.
It's just great that even that is being talked about. In fact, I think it should be talked about in the press more, because people like to shun away from it because they think if you bring it up as a talkback topic or something like that, you might alienate a certain part of the audience. But it's just about sexuality, and some people get, you say, oh, this is what I do for a job. Some people might go,
It's not about sexuality. HIV doesn't discriminate against anybody. A lot of people do get HIV, so it's certainly not a gay issue, and it's certainly not a sexuality issue. But yeah, it's just a hot topic, and the main thing is that it's a big epidemic in Australia at the moment. So it's just on the increase. So we're really in a really difficult phase, and especially over the last sort of 5 to 10 years, we've noticed a big increase in the number of cases that are coming through.
And keep fighting the good fight out there. Make sure people leave your office knowing what's what.
Will do. Cheers.
And I hope I never turn up on your show.
No, not this year. Not this year, no.
And now travel back with Maynard to the Australian Paranormal and Spiritual Expo for more interviews with some very interesting people.
Now, of course, one of the main people you'd have to bump into, you got to have a big guy on the door who's ready if there's some trouble. What's your name, sir?
My name's John.
John, now you're big in the sci-fi world, but you're also here in the paranormal world.
I'm brought here by my partner, Peter, who runs Appy, along with Nick.
Yeah. And any incidents? I'm always looking for some sort of controversy to get into the show here. Has there been any incidents today?
Today? No, not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. I just have to ask you that question. And what sort of people are coming here? It's mainly women, but not necessarily.
Mainly women, and a lot of the men, I believe, are the partners of the women.
They look a bit put upon, as if they've been asked to come here?
Oh, I think there's a few true believers that have come along who are the men. It's quite an interesting demographic, actually.
Most interesting question you've been asked today?
Where's the toilet?
Thanks, thank you. Now, of course, every event needs a host, and we've got a guy up here on the stage who's been chatting to our various ghost hunters and psychics. What's your name, sir?
Alex Caius.
And, of course, you put the Maitland Jail one together that we went to earlier in the year. Now, what was that one?
That was Paracon Australia.
And you're doing it again in May in Katoomba.
Yes, we've got the Carrington Hotel in Katoomba, so we're all set for 2:15.
Look, what strikes me is that you get the industry coming along. You get the ghost hunting industry come along that mix with each other and talk, as well as the general public. Yeah. And the psychics are kind of sidelined a little bit, aren't they?
Look, the paranormal community is very diverse.
It is, yeah.
But, the teams generally work and know each other, so that's why they probably, all seem like they get on a lot more.
So what's your favourite here today?
Oh, that's a little hard to pick. There's a lot of good ones. I like that the ghost tours are out and representing themselves because, ghost tourism is booming, so good on them.
Yeah, and everyone seems to have had some sort of experience that they want to get explained. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but they want to know some answers here, don't they?
That's right. And you know what? If they don't get the answers, it's, as lame as it is, it's the journey that matters. It's the pursuit of the answers that are just as fun.
I think you've been talking to too many New Age people, Hey, so, what's going on over there where they've got the bell-shaped thing that's moving around someone's head? Is that an aura cleansing? What's going on? It's a glass bell
Yes,
thing.
I believe it's an aura cleansing, like with, I'm not sure what the actual bell's called, but it's like sound vibration.
Because it looks like someone's moving a vase around their head.
Look, whatever helps you.
Yep, well, look, the people are looking pretty relaxed. Maybe because they got their eyes shut. If they could see what it looked like, maybe they wouldn't be so relaxed.
That's true. Could be.
Well, look, you have a good day. Any incidents yet?
Nothing yet. Good numbers through the door. They're having a good day.
Good to see. Look, I've actually been invited behind the table, so I'm actually getting a view at what it's like to be at one of these tables, and there are a lot of people here. Steve, you're the team leader of...
Unexplained Paranormal Incident Group.
And where do you normally work at?
Well, we actually hold our investigations up around the mountains area, which is Mount Victoria, and also Katoomba.
Okay. And do you think it's because of some ancient mystery that's going on there, or it's something that's gone on since settlement?
It could be hard to actually identify that. All of us leave an energy imprint through time, okay? Now, whether somebody is actually drawn back to these locations for whatever reason, we don't know. And just through our investigation methods, we're actually trying to unravel why certain energy levels remain in certain places and why they're actually they're held there, or whether they may just be transient, just moving through.
Have you got any sort of rough hypothesis at this point, or is it a bit too early?
It's quite early at the moment, but we actually do coming across the same energy levels all the time. We're coming across some very childish impi spirits, also some very standoffish male spirits, and also quite a few nasties in there as well.
So would this indicate some sort of hierarchy of spirits?
It could be. I've been investigating now for about 29 years, and it's just quite hard to put your thumb on any sort of theory based out there, because theory bases change all the time.
That's true.
Okay, somebody will say, that ghosts exist, and then the person next to me say ghosts don't exist. Whether that's the right term, I mainly use energy levels myself.
Okay. Yeah. And what's the wildest event you've experienced when you've been out in the field?
Scratches, which I have here.
Okay. So is that necessarily poltergeist activity, or is that not necessarily that? I thought physical stuff would be a poltergeist.
It could be. The theory behind poltergeist is actually can be manifested by somebody within the premises themselves through holding negative energies, and they can actually build on that.
See, I'm a little bit of a nervous disposition myself. I tend to stay away from these kind of things because I get spooked by. I can watch something on a TV and be spooked. I'm a little bit too suggestible. I think that's my problem. I'd almost have a panic attack going out with you guys, I reckon.
Well, a lot of it is quite very, very interesting how it all happens. We do capture a lot of voices come through our electronic capture devices.
Oh yeah, and what do you use to capture EVPs?
Well, we actually use a recorder similar to what you're actually holding in your hand now.
Okay.
Omnidirectional recorders. We also run spirit boxes, also audios off our camera and everything as well. Okay. And it's purely simple your ears. There are times you can actually hear things via your ears. Quite simple.
And what's your website so people can have a look at what you've got up to?
Okay. It's the Unexplained Paranormal Incident.
Look, one thing we like talking about when we come to an expo like this is some of the people that have come along here. And what have you been looking for today?
I just came along to see what anybody would say about any readings or anything like that I had.
Oh, okay. So did you get a tarot or did you get a medium? What did you do?
I had a little mini tarot reading with some ladies just over behind me, and they were very good, very spot on, very accurate.
Oh, good. And how did you go? What were you here for?
Well, same sort of thing, just to have a look at everything. I'm actually going to see a seminar with Mitchell Coombs. So. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I've read his book.
Is it Richard or is it Michael?
It's Mitchell. No, it's Mitchell.
Mitchell. Oh,
yeah.
There you go. See, I should read my signs better. Yeah.
And then we just had a free spiritual reading over there, and they were very good.
Okay.
Very
and are either of you into crystals at all?
Yes, I'm very much into crystals.
Oh, okay. There's only one I know about, and that's rose quartz. What's your favourite?
Oh, I've got many favourites, but I tend to always gravitate towards the amethyst.
Oh, okay. And is that supposed to be a cleansing one or a good luck one, or...?
Amethyst is a very spiritual stone, and it does a lot of spiritual protection, and it's very relaxing and very calming. So
you seem pretty chilled, I got to say. And you got a quartz belief at all?
What? Sorry.
You into quartz at all?
No, I've got crystals, but I haven't really explored what's appropriate for me.
Oh, okay. Well, look, you both sound like you're having a fun day here, and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. That's great. Just right next to the Skeptics table, we've got Rob here. And which ghost investigation group are you with?
I'm Eastern States Paranormal, and we're based in Newcastle.
Oh, wait. Another Novocastrian. What's your favourite haunted and almost active spot of town?
Oh, I have to be Maitland Jail.
It is pretty ooky there. What do you reckon about the Civic Theatre?
I'm actually going to the Civic Theatre with Renata from Newcastle Ghost Tours, I think, in next month. I've never been there before, so it'd be good to have a hunt.
Yeah, it's a good large open space, a large enclosed space.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And so what has been the most active thing you've seen at Maitland Jail, for example?
I've seen shadow figure walk from one end to the cell to another. I thought it was a client of ours coming with us. Oh, okay. No one was in there at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So do you still get a bit spooked out by some of the things that happen sometimes?
Definitely I do. Yeah, I cold sweat sometimes.
So what drives you to do it? Is it the adrenaline burn you get from that experience?
I think it's more to do to show people, there is an afterlife. There are spirits out there kind of thing. And sometimes, the rush does help. Yeah.
I've just been having discussion there. It could be an afterlife, it could be a trans-dimensional being or some sort of time slip as well. There could be all sorts of reasons why you're seeing something that's anomalous. It's kind of hard to nail down, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Like with my ITC research I'm doing with water, I've had pictures that look like alien. So could it be aliens trying to communicate with us? Who knows?
You've got some devices here. Now, some of these are well-known, like you've got the ghost box there. Is that what it's called?
Yes, the new SB11 spirit box.
Now, how does that work again? It gathers a number of frequencies all at once, doesn't it?
It scans through the radio waves. So this one has particular two spirit boxes built into the one. So we can go AM and FM, or AM, FM, FM, vice versa. We can go forward sweep, reverse sweep, how fast we can go, 50 milliseconds to 300 milliseconds.
And as someone who's used one a few times, what have you had the most success with?
I usually have set mine at reverse FM at 250 milliseconds.
Okay.
And I believe that we can hear the voices come across a lot smoother instead of like chipmunks.
And how do you, and do you have to listen back in real time, or you've got to slow it down? How do you work it out?
Well, sometimes you can hear the voices communicate with you back. Like they'll say, "Hi, Rob." I've had that a lot. "Help me, Rob. Can you help me?" kind of thing. Sometimes they'll say something too soft. Then we'll have to take it home and look on the computers with audio programs.
I've spoken to mediums and psychics before, and they're very adamant that there's some sort of a hierarchy in the afterworld, like, there's lower spirits and higher spirits. Do you hold any thought in that or not?
I think, because my mum always says to me she talks to a higher spirit. She says it's not God or anything like that, it's just something above us that she communicates with, so I don't know.
Okay. Because they say, you've got to be careful of the lower spirits, and I'm wondering how you could possibly tell sometimes.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Like, I've never come across anything evil, haven't come across demonic entities. I just think if you're a bugger in life, you're going to be a bugger in death, and you're going to cause fear in people. So,
I guess, just because you've died doesn't make you a nicer person.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, not at all.
Oh, and what are you hoping to... it's a bit of a camaraderie here with all the ghost finders today, isn't it?
Oh, it's awesome. Like, it's good to see so many teams coming together and showing their personal stuff.
How many teams would be here? About a dozen?
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
At least a dozen.
Right. And is there something you all seem to have in common?
Yeah. Sometimes we investigate different than others, groups do. But at the end, we all come together and say, okay, this is what we tried. How about we try what you guys try? That's what I like about the field.
Look, enjoy the rest of your day here, and thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
That's good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Finn. And I'm Rebecca. And we're the Skepticons. Skepticons is an Irish podcast by the Dublin Skeptics Society. It takes a conversational, irreverent look at science, news and skeptical topics from an Irish perspective. You can find us at www.theskepticons.com.
You're always spirit with a strong finance.
Thank you for listening to the Skeptic Zone. Oh, that music's still going.
Well, it's on a 48-hour loop.
I didn't want to mention anything. That was a big episode, Maynard. Thank you again for being there at the pub and the Paranormal Convention, the Paranormal and Spiritual Expo.
If I'm just going Adam West now. If there's a place where paranormal is called, if there's a place where the skeptics together, I will be there.
Oh, that was spooky. That was even more spooky than your spooky action at a distance, Maynard. Oh, that's spooky. Sorry, he can't help himself. Now, you're going to be one of the people on hand, a reporter at the coming convention.
And that's right. And if you're coming along, you're thinking of coming along, you know someone who's coming along, or you're not going at all, you should come and visit me. Because if you see me, come up to me. Hang on, how would our Prime Minister say? Shirt front me, as our Prime Minister would say.
Shirt front Maynard, that's the word.
And go, hey, I think you're crap. Or say, I once enjoyed something you did 40 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I want to hear.
Or if they can bring you a food voucher, you'd be appreciative of that.
That kind of stuff. And remind me to tell you the story of when I first met Iran Sergev in the toilets at the Masonic Club in Sydney, and I was vomiting. But that's all I can say right now.
Okay. Tales of the Unexpected, Maynard.
Oh, that's right. I don't even know if Iran will remember that because, you know...
I'm sure he will.
Pretty special.
I'm sure he will. Well, okay, well, thanks for having me over to your interesting Sydney cave.
Yep.
Oh, is that somebody at the door, Maynard?
No, I'm going to get that as a ringtone.
I think you should. Chariots of the Gods, ?
Oh, it's all there. Look, thank you for listening. If you want to pay a visit to maynard.com.au, that would be very nice, and thank you. And leave some comments for me. If I'm doing the wrong thing, let me know, because everyone should know if they're doing the wrong thing.
I agree. Everyone should know if they're doing the wrong thing. I don't think I'm doing the wrong thing visiting you, Maynard. But until next week, this is Richard and Maynard from Maynard's Sydney Cave, we might say, signing off.
Talk about crude and naked police brutality.
You've been listening to the Skeptic Zone. Visit our website at www.skepticzone.tv for comments, contacts, and extra video reports.